Peace and love. Hope all is well. Hope you're feeling blessed and safe and high vibrational. Now in this video we'll be bringing forward some messages and guidance from Mother Gaia, and we'll be connecting with her energy and seeing what she has to present for August 2021. Now this video was actually recorded yesterday. Well, not this specific video, but I recorded with Gaia yesterday, and the video was half an hour long, and then when I went home there was no sound. So obviously when that occurs, that's telling me that that either the message wasn't not necessarily needed, but wasn't necessarily expressed in the best way. Now I came back out today to refilm the video, and I was just going to kind of pull fresh energy and see what comes out, but it looked like I put the cards back in the deck without shuffling, so they was all at the top of the deck, and when I was pulling them out I was kind of not remembering the whole read, but I was remembering bits of what was being said and what was being channeled. Now I'm not really 100% sure where to begin because the cards aren't actually in order of how I pulled them out, but we're just going to go with where we're led with energy. They are set up on the table. Now, just before we continue, on this channel I also channel the energies of Mother Gaia, some ascended masters, the 12 signs of the zodiac, as well as some celebrity energies who wish to assist us here on our earth journey. Okay, so I think where we're going to begin first of all is with these two cards. Okay, and what I was being presented yesterday with this card in particular, the Queen of Air, was, okay, I'm remembering more. It was about being connected to the intuitive mind, being connected to your spiritual senses, being connected to our spiritual selves. But not just that, it was about being whole as well. You see how in this card, the individual has the symbol of the Pisces within their eyes. And something about that was about kind of being whole on the inside of you, but also being whole on the outside of you, experiencing your inner world, but also within the outer world, bringing your inner self out into the outer world. And that's kind of what Gaia is saying to me right now, is that's what we're doing. We are all kind of projecting our inner world out into the matrix. And she's saying, I'm hearing many of you are complete. Many of you are open spirits. Many of you are free spirits. But there's something about we need to release ourselves. It's that we're all free, but we need to release ourselves. And I'm being back to what Bob Marley says, free yourself from mental slavery or something like that. And it's almost like there's a shield over the third eye, a shield over perception, a shield over seeing. And if you look here with this card, you have a third eye kiss. And I'm not 100% sure, but if I remember rightly, I think I saw somewhere that a third eye kiss can kind of open somebody's third eye or ignite somebody's third eye. Gaia is saying there needs to be an embrace of God, of God's source energy, of light energy. You need to find that within the self, which is being represented in all this gold. Okay, so let's move to a few other cards. So we have these two cards. And this for me is about like self-entrapment. Again, a need to shift in perspective. But Gaia is saying that for us to hold out. to hold on. She's saying that your time is coming, our time is coming, and I feel like that's more so talking on like this time of the light. Now yesterday, when I pulled this card out, what Gaia was speaking on was the middle ground. And the way she kind of presented this to me was with these horns and these two being separate and then this part being open where the third eye would be, where your intuitive mind would be represented, sorry. And what that was, it was that it's like how this individual is chained up by both hands, representing both light and dark, being entrapped within the light or being entrapped within the dark. And Gaia was saying that anything in this world can kind of entrap us or keep us stagnant or keep us stale. And it's for us to use it's for us to use different, I want to say mechanisms or different components to the human experience to free ourselves. The fact that this individual has fruit in one hand and it has an axe or a tool in the other, both can be used for their greater good. Both can be used for their empowerment. The food nourishes and adds strength, and the more strength that this person receives, the more likely they are to break free from these chains. Whereas the axe, it can chip away at the chains. So it's just saying that there is light in the dark and there is dark in the light, but it's about shifting perspective. It's about asking yourself, how can you use these things to serve you, to serve your highest good? But for some reason, I'm being told that the middle ground is going to present itself. Both of these individuals have horns going left and right, and in the middle is their crown chakra, is their third eye. So it's like all is going to be revealed and all is going to be seen. But there's something about we need to free ourselves again. Free ourselves from mental slavery. You see how the chain's around his neck, but also not just the chain is around his neck, the lock is also around his neck. And for some reason, Gaia's saying it's a choice to be free. And she's saying it's a choice to surrender to freedom. She's saying that pain is necessary, but more so she's not necessarily talking about pain, it's more so discomfort is necessary for change. She's saying that even when there's positive change in one's life, throughout the process of change is discomfort. Because you're only comfortable where you've been for a while or for a moment, for a period of time. Okay, so the next cards that I want to move to is Heaven and Earth on this card. And it's that we can create heaven on earth. Heaven's already been a part of earth. Okay, they're bringing it back to the middle ground. The middle ground. And Gaia is saying that earth is a place where realities are birthed, where thoughts become things, where it's almost like thoughts become things. They're presenting it as thoughts become things in a physical sense, but also thoughts become things in an energetic sense. Almost that some things that are thought about and cultivated here on earth are then manifested elsewhere in the universe. But with this is mostly speaking about pinpointing the cause of healing, pinpointing the cause of trauma, pinpointing the cause of something. And with that, I feel that that's kind of like truth being expressed. And I feel like in a few of these reads I've been speaking about like truth being brought to the forefront, but I definitely do see like Earth moving to more of times of truth, of kind of things kind of being exposed a little bit. And I don't know whether that's if that's talking about like on a celebrity level or whether that's talking about on a historical level. But with this card and the mask being removed, truth is definitely going to be brought to the forefront. And yesterday when I was filming this video, I was feeling truth being brought forward regarding like a female energy or a feminine energy. And the two celebrities that I was brought to or that I was seeing in my mind, I was seeing Marilyn Monroe and also Princess Diana. Now, it could be that truth is going to be brought out about these two individuals and their human experience, or that truth is going to be brought out about like a blonde female or a royal or a princess. Or even a redhead, you never know. I feel like it's like, I just feel like some things have been waiting to be revealed for some reason. Definitely, especially the father card. Now when this came out, this was talking about Prince Rogers Nelson and just that he was making his energy present around me, and then there was 222 on the clock. But at this moment it's like things are being, sorry, you see how you have this deer and you also have this, I don't know what animal that is, a panther, watching. But that watching is like symbolizing like the waiting, the observing of when the people are ready to hear this, or when the public are ready to hear something. Now, there was some lower, not necessarily lower vibrational energy, but more so people may perceive it on a darker level, on a lower vibrational level, really, what I'm about to say. Now, what I was being brought to was the Black Book and celebrities. And what energy was showing me, what Gaia was showing me, was that within this Black Book was celebrities that had lost their lives. And it wasn't necessarily just celebrities that had lost their lives. It was more so celebrities that had lost their lives from unnatural means, unnatural causes, unnatural ways. So that was kind of what I was kind of assuming that was those that have kind of maybe been assassinated or been targeted or murdered. And not the only sad thing about this, but the other thing that I was shown was that within this Black Book was still, right, in the Black Book there was names that had been checked off, but there was also names that hadn't been checked off, like their time is coming. Now, there was something about the divine seeing this, about the universe seeing this. But right now, for some reason, and this may not make sense, but for some reason it feels like it's necessary. It's almost that those within this Black Book are meant to be in it because their end does not. Okay, it was that what I was hearing was that their end is not no ending. Their end is the start of beginnings. And really what I feel that is, it's like, you know, basically that the deaths of certain individuals or public figures helps in creating change, in bringing people together, in helping people realize what's important and what's necessary. There is something about like life ending and it being necessary to end, it being needed to end. And they're talking about in a physical sense, not in an energetic sense, because life is everlasting. Life is always ongoing. Okay. So then we have these two cards. And what Gaia was telling us to do, well, sorry, not what she was telling us to do. Well, yes, sorry, I'm getting both of the messages for both of the cards. Now, this one was talking about is bringing our whole selves together, going back to the light and the dark, the polarity, the duality, the good and the bad, the fear and the insecurity, the happiness and the sadness and the joy. Gaia was telling us that we need to bring all of these components of self together, because bringing all these aspects of self together is what's going to create for the strongest structure, for the strongest being, for the strongest individual. She was talking about us having a range of emotions, and with having a range of emotions, that means to have a range of understanding. She's saying that those that, and it's an example, those that have been brought up with a silver spoon in their mouth and just lived a life of luxury, never known what struggle was, never known what it meant to go without, never known what it meant to have anxiety about being able to afford things, or just not being able to have the experience because you don't have the money to do it. I think that those people have a lack of an understanding of not only themselves but people, of real life, of everybody else really. And she's saying that although they may be financially abundant, they are, I want to say, not emotionally vulnerable but lack emotional maturity. And Gaia's saying that emotional maturity is far more of an abundant currency than monetary abundance. But there's definitely something about is incorporating all the sides of ourselves to create the strongest structure possible. Now with this card, this was presenting choice, and it was kind of a card of like justice as well, but it's presenting choice in terms of that we are all getting an opportunity to choose who we are, or getting, I'm remembering more as well, we are all getting the choice to free ourselves. We have all been given the choice to free ourselves, but what Gaia was presenting to me was that kind of there's no good and there is no bad. There's just perspective and understanding and overstanding, and there's experience that enables us to perceive something as good or bad. Also what we're taught in terms of growing up in society of what is good or bad, but really it's not about good or bad, it's just about lessons and teachings. Now the only reason why we bring up the good or bad part is because with this it's presenting a choice, and Gaia was telling me that we have choice in terms of, are we going to follow that of the light or follow that of the shadow. Again, there's lessons and teachings to be learnt in both. And what she was also saying was that the light and the shadow are the same energies, and the way she presented it to me was that, let's say that a room was, so you entered a room and it was, I don't know if the vibration was set at or whether the frequency was set at. I think it's frequency at 432 hertz, and the room went purple, and then you went into the same room but it was at, I don't know, 528 hertz, and then the room was turned red. It's the same room, just a different frequency. So when it's Gaia saying that we get to choose the light or the dark, or we need to choose the light or the dark, or the shadow or the light, it's that it's the same path, it's the same teachings, just a different vibration, I want to say. You know, all the same things are in that room, it's just a different way of perceiving it. I hope that makes sense. But we're being presented with choice, and there was something about blood that Gaia mentioned, and I'm just trying to remember it, and it was that it was something like we need to see the pain. Some need to see, okay, and it kind of brings it back to like people losing their lives and why it's necessary. Some people need to see the pain, need to see the suffering, need to feel the suffering, need to see the physical blood for them to get a better understanding of what is necessary for change. Gaia brought it to the fact that when our physical body, when we have pain or when there's blood, that is a signal and a sign. Yeah, sorry. So that when there's pain or when there's blood, that something needs healing, that something needs attention to it. Energy also wants us not to be necessarily, Gaia wants us, sorry. See, she's correcting me. She wants less judgment upon people and their experience and who they choose to be and who we all choose to be. She wants you to have less judgment on yourself and who you've chosen to be, not just currently, or who you choose to become in the future, but also who you chose to be in the past, in your past of this life, in your past of past lives. She just wants less judgment. She's saying that judgment stops people from progressing. Judgment stops people from being willing to branch out. Judgment stops people from exploring love or even exploring their pain or their sorrow. She's saying that there's nothing wrong with wanting to explore your pain. There's nothing morbid or dark or depressive about it. If anything, it's just more healing that that's going to occur, that you're going to uncover. She wants less judgment of people's and their individual paths, because she's saying no matter what path you are on the path of the light. She's saying that shadows are only cast because there is light. Without light, there would be no shadows. It makes so much sense. Now, there's a message that I'm remembering from the beginning of the read yesterday, and what Gaia was presenting to me was that she's presenting a door, a gateway, an energetic gateway, or an energetic seal kind of being at our third eye and at our heart space. And what she was saying to me was that this is kind of like a practice that we can try or that we can do, and it's more so just something that you can do whenever, really, and it's just something that you can do within you. And what I was being shown was that we should envision or imagine or visualize a double door opening up at our third eye and at our heart space. And as we envision, because imagination and thought are the creators of basically everything, and that is how we manifest, And what she was showing me was that as you imagine these doors opening from your heart center and your third eye, imagine like shadow or darkness or just density or lower vibrations being released as you are opening this door. And what Gaia was saying was that is ways to cleanse. That is a way to cleanse your heart space. That is a way to cleanse your third eye. And really what she was saying was that you could do that with any part of your chakra system. Just imagine the doors being open and the negative energy being released. Now what she's reminded me, which she didn't remind me yesterday, was that as you release, you also need to fill, if that makes sense. So she's saying like be intentional with like the filling up of your being, and it's more so in terms of like be intentional. Sorry, some people just walk past and it's kind of just took me off my track. Be intentional with what you want for your system. Okay, I actually remember. What she was saying was that our system, really everything in our human experience is determined by us. Our cells are, she's saying, controlled by us. And if you set an intention, that is kind of you almost setting a command. It's almost telling your cells, giving your cells a sense of direction. She's saying direct your cells to heal, to cleanse. For some reason, it's almost like your cells hear, your cells listen, your cells feel. So what you tell it to do, whether that's on like a feeling level or an intuitive level, it will occur. But it's about being intentional with your desire or your wanting. Okay. Let's pull one or two cards and see what fresh energy Gaia has for us. See, this card wanted to come out yesterday, and it also wanted to come out in the pre-shuffle earlier when I was just shuffling the rest of the deck. that's kind of telling us to stare directly into the void. I don't know why, but I'm being brought to that the void, the collective void, it's not even, it's like it's not a void at all. Because for some, like, the void is darkness. It's to be entrapped. It's where some people say that those that commit suicide are placed in the void. They're stuck in stagnant energy. What I'm being presented with is that the collective void is where all of our truth lies. And not all of our truths in terms of an individual level, but our collective truths that have been hidden from us. And Gaia and energy saying that only those that go on their spiritual journey, that face their personal shadow, gain access to the collective void and gain understanding of what has happened or what is happening or what is there for all of us collectively. It's weird because it's almost like I'm seeing it like a movie, like that there's all these secrets and they've been put in the darkest place because no one will go there. It's like there are secrets and hidden things in the North Pole or places that are beyond freezing because they know that people won't go there. Or there's not a high chance of certain things being discovered or found. But she's saying that no one has to go anywhere physically on Earth to gain any answers. One just has to go within and access their heart space. She's saying that within each and every single one of us, not only lies the universe, but also lies all that's hidden as well. Therefore, she's saying that within all of us is a part of the universe, if not the entire universe, but also within all of us is a part of the collective void, if not the whole collective void. And again, you understand where this kind of, what this is kind of saying. Again, it's like that polarity, that duality, the light and the dark. Right now the light is being represented as in the universe, and then the dark or the shadow is being represented in the void. And again, it's just about perspective, and lessons and teachings can be gained from both sides, from both experiences, from both vibrations. And it's just about working in flow with these vibrations, with your emotions. They're also saying with the emotions of the universe and the currents and the waves of the universe. For some reason, it's almost like there's, like, I don't know why, but I just want to say, like, planetary emotions. I'm just seeing waves being brought into Earth. Waves of emotions. But then I'm also seeing, like, I don't know, like the World Cup. And say, like, when a team loses, I'm seeing the globe go red, but there's like smoke being released, and that's kind of like these waves of emotion. I don't know what that's meaning, but that's what I'm seeing. I think now what I'm going to do is close my eyes, channel a message from Mother Gaia. We have the youth, and see what message we have coming forward from our Divine Mother. Peace and love. It's also 9:09 on the clock. You can be a success story. The earth has been a success story. The earth is watched by the divine, by the galactics, by the stars. The earth is a tool of the universe, a tool that energetic beings use to become physical, to experience physicality, to experience duality, to experience what it feels like to feel through density through a physical body. The earth is a school of light and dark, of good and bad, of understanding and overstanding, of integration and segregation. The earth is a school of grace, of indifference, of similarity, of uniqueness, of divinity. The earth is here to teach, but also to assist in learning, to assist in the expansion of love. We are all here to raise our vibration, to expand consciously, to become more whole than we was yesterday. We are all here to shift, to change, to develop, to become, to smile, to cry, to rise. Your journey is your journey, and each and every step of the way you are supported and assisted energetically, whether you realize it or not. There is an energetic team for everybody to be connecting to be striving to be in tune with. There is a force of nature that is unique to each and every single one of us that again, you can all tap into, you can all feel and know to be true for yourselves. There are guides for everybody, spirit teachers and spirit helpers for everybody. But you must be willing to hear, must be willing to learn, must be willing to feel. It's important to believe in the self, in who you are. Believe in the love that you feel in your heart and know that to be true. Know that you can create whatever reality you want. Know that you can help others create whatever reality they want. Know that the healing of yourself is a direct reflection of the healing of the collective. And the more you heal, the more the collective heals. The more you're willing to heal, the more the collective is willing to heal. The more you understand, the more understanding is brought to the collective. The more you're willing to be open, the more open the collective will become. The more you stand firm in who you are, the stronger your cause will become. The more gratitude you express, the more abundance you will receive. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay loving. Ashe, Gaia. And thank you for joining me and being present with me. If you're looking for a personal, the information is down below in the description box. You can also follow me on Instagram at @Naphtali and at @WeTheCollective_. Peace and love. Ashe.